I'm fuming, like, I'm just so mad right now, I don't even have words. It's actually a shit show, like nothing is signed, staff is super unhelpful, none of the machines work, I'm fuming, like it's just not cool. Food in Malaysia has been not great, to be honest.
Yeah, it's giving us the
Let me just start off by saying Malaysian Borneo, absolutely beautiful. So Penang, very honestly and very bluntly, is disgusting. It's dirty. The people are unfriendly. All the buildings are dilapidated. It's not charming. Like people say, oh, it's old school charming. It's really not. It's just disgusting.
Yeah, it really needs a revamp, and they really need to, you know, do some renovations on that place. There are other places. There's a whole east coast of Peninsular Malaysia. There is like places like Malacca, which I've heard are good. But I've also heard that Kuala Lumpur and Georgetown were good, and they were so we don't like it. You might like it, but if you're anything like us, you probably won't like it. But yeah, it's up for you to decide. We don't want to be on a whole country. Like this is just the places that we experience, but like a fair amount of time to actually like get a read. Sorry for being so negative. Try to find the positive, and we did find some positives. I think the negatives heavily outweighed the positives. It's time to get out of Malaysia, and we are extremely happy.
Yeah, I'm keen to leave.
Yeah, me too. So we're catching a flight today at 1 o'clock from KL International Airport to Siem Reap in Cambodia, and we are beyond excited.
Oh, so excited to go back to Siem Reap.
Back to Siem Reap, a place we know and love, and to be honest, to get out of mainland Malaysia, because we have not had a particularly good time at all. We really enjoyed Borneo, Kuching, but other than that, yeah, wouldn't rate it.
Yeah, it's hard to put your finger on exactly why, but I think as the video goes along, we can kind of talk about each specific area that we went to and just some like negatives and positives about each. But yeah, we're not in a rush to come back to Malaysia at all. Yeah.
No, not at all, not at all. But yeah, as we said, we'll discuss the different places as we go along, and fill you in on our experiences and why we are not too keen on the place.
Yep.
But we're just waiting for a grab now, which luckily we were able to grab a grab because it's been a bit of a difficulty here in Putrajaya, but there is one on the way. We are getting to the airport nice and early, and we will be keen as bean to get on the flight and get to Siem Reap. So I've been shown to self-check-in. We've got bags, so apparently the bag tags are printed off here, and then we have to drop them off at one of 4 fucking gates, I don't know, whatever they're called. But yeah, a bit of a shit show, but I guess you can't expect that when you're flying Air Asia. So after some no assistance from some very unhelpful staff working for Air Asia, we have managed to find a machine that will print a bag tag for our baggage, and we are now in the line to kind of expect something else to go wrong. We used 3 machines, one of them worked, so that's a 33% success rate from what we tried, so that's pretty piss poor. And
I'm fuming, like I'm just so mad right now, I don't even have words.
It's such a new airport, but
it's actually a shit show, like nothing is signed, staff is super unhelpful, none of the machines work. I'm fuming, like it's just not cool. Sort your shit out, Malaysia.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better myself. But we'll see how we go at the bag drop off. You know, as I said, we're expecting one more thing. But yeah, we'll try keeping high spirits, and just remember that at the end of the day, we will be in a country that we love, in a city that we love, surrounded by people that we love. So
I'm getting a massage as soon as we get to Cambodia. Yeah.
As soon as in the customs hall.
Yeah.
Immigration. Can you give me a massage too? Okay, so bags have been checked in. The man at the check-in for the bags was lovely.
It's always like after you have like 12 bad experiences, one person's nice, and it's just like, okay, maybe it's not all bad.
It's not really the employees' fault, I guess. They're going to be dealing with some absolute clowns like us, but yeah, at the end of the day, it's completely the airline's fault for making so many flights and not having enough staff, and just their practices are just absolutely shocking here at Terminal 2 in Kuala Lumpur International Airport. So yeah, hats off to the employees. I'm sure they're doing their best now through security and immigration, so we'll see how we go. Alright, so we made it through security, and it's a bit weird because they just scanned your bag, so I think there might be additional security when we get to Gate L, and hopefully there's going to be some kind of food. I looked online and it looks like there's a Burger King, so fine dining and even a coffee shop. And another thing as well, it's always funny that if we're in a situation like this, if one of us gets fuming, the other one gets kind of positive. So most of the time it's me getting fuming, but and then Sarah takes on the role of, even though we're going through the exact same thing, one of us seems to kind of be the peacemaker and trying to stay positive and not fume as well. So at this point I am taking on the role of peacemaker and trying not to fume.
I just don't deal with being hungry very well.
Yeah,
I don't have breakfast. I need breakfast. It's just
breakfast. I'm sure a lot of you guys out there as well with partners and even brothers find the same thing. So yeah, it's just an interesting observation we've made, and yeah, for a bit of a change, I am the positive one. So yeah, and here's the security just as we come down.
Honestly, even when I'm fuming, I'm not like, I'm slightly annoyed. That's about it.
Most of the time, 90% of the time.
But you fume so hard when you do. It's
well,
so funny.
I'm a bloke, you know. We fume a bit harder. It's all that testosterone running through my balls.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to hit the security now, the additional security, and hopefully we'll be able to find ourselves some food, and thus make Sarah a happy chappy. But we won't hold our breath with this absolute shambolic airport, I must say. But I'll stay positive. So we got through security, additional security, and everything was fine. Now we are heading down to the Burger King, which looks like the only option for food in this part of the terminal.
Yeah.
And this, yeah, it's just a long, thin line with not a lot of space.
So sick of eating fast food, but it's better than nothing at the end of the day. The food in Malaysia has been not great, to be honest.
Yeah, it's given us the shits.
Yeah, we both got really sick, yeah. And just pretty much anything you order with meat ends up having just a bunch of bones, a bunch of just like gristle. It's just really not good.
They've even found ways to put bones in vegetables. Not really, but
yeah.
I'm sure if they could, they would. Yeah, this terminal is laid out like absolute rat shit. It's just a thin corridor. Yeah, not a lot of seating. Yeah, just not good. Not
Yeah,
good
we just haven't enjoyed ourselves. Like, we both lost weight since being here, which isn't good because like we can't really afford to lose weight. It's just, yeah, just everything's kind of been a bit shit.
Yeah, I'll vouch for that.
Yeah.
Alright, so we've made it through that part of it, and now we are in another waiting area with seats, and I'm not sure if there's a toilet in here, so that's a bit of a stitch up. So if you need to go to the toilet, I guess you're boned. Yeah, what can I say? That's what I can say.
It's freezing in here.
And that too, it's freezing in here, so yeah, we'll be on the plane soon and out of here. Let's go.
Feels so good to be back somewhere we like.
back in the
So
hood.
relieved. Yeah.
Far out. Yeah, I don't know if you probably would have been able to hear me, but this airport is referred to as the Ghost Airport, and I can see why, because there was only one singular other plane in here, and it was a smaller propeller plane. So, yeah, there's that fella. He just wanted to give you a thumbs up. So yeah, people are nicer in Cambodia already. As soon as they get off the plane, they seem to get nicer. And we're going to try and get ourselves not a tourist visa, but an ordinary visa. So see if things go to plan. That's the flights in the afternoon, so that's like 8 there, which is sweet FA. But yeah, if Cambodian officials are watching and you want to do some promotion for this airport, for Siem Reap, to increase the visitor numbers and to make this airport worthwhile, we are available. So reach out at frankandsarah@gmail.com. So this airport's actually, it's like nearly an hour drive outside of Siem Reap. So yeah, really not the best shout. They must be expecting Siem Reap to really expand quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I think that'll be a few years before that happens. Immigration was easy peasy. We went through, filled out the card, and then we just took it up, took our passport, asked which one we were applying for, said the ordinary, not the tourist one, because the ordinary you can extend up to a year with like multiple entries, so that'll be really good because we really enjoy Cambodia. So if we have a visa like that, we can come back whenever we want, will be really good for us. There was no stamping fee, which was dope, so it was only 35 US each, and that was the total price. You get your visa printed off, they put it in the passport, and then you just walk through immigration. Nice and quick, because there's nobody at this airport. There's barely any flights, so these guys must be bored shitless. But yeah, now we're going to see if we can get a grab. Flight was okay. Some pretty decent turbulence though, so we got rocked around a bit. But yeah, luckily we both got nobody sitting next to us after we moved, so happy days. Not too bad a shout.
Yep.
But yeah, happy to be here, not in fucking Malaysia, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, we'll fill you in about like a recap of the trip, what we liked, and all the things we didn't like.
Yeah.
Which there's a big one.
Yeah, there are positives and negatives. Like, definitely don't get us wrong. There's just more negatives than positives for us, and that's just being real. Like, we don't want to sugarcoat things, and
Yeah, that's it, you know. It's like, reality is some things are negative, and sometimes a lot of things are negative, just in our opinion though, so take it with a grain of salt. But I mean, if you're watching this, hopefully you've got some kind of appreciation and respect for our opinion, but if you don't, then don't worry about it. Don't sweat it, pal. It's all good, But yeah, we'll see about this grab, and then we'll catch you when we're in the actual city of Siem Reap. Always thinking, hey, look at that. Sorry. Thank you. Okay, we made it. We are in our accommodation, our rental for 1 month in Siem Reap, and we are so bloody happy about it.
So happy. It's going to be so good to just have some roots for a month. We can actually unpack.
Few roots. Hey, I like the sound of that. Yeah, we just wanted to kind of fill you guys in and just go step by step of what was our issue, I guess, with certain parts of Malaysia and just as a whole.
Yeah, definitely.
As a whole.
Let me just start off by saying Malaysian Borneo, absolutely beautiful. So impressed by Malaysian Borneo. We 100% will be back to Borneo. It was just such a vibe. We loved it there.
It's like a different country.
Yeah, it's just beautiful. Like, the landscape's beautiful, the people are beautiful, the food's beautiful. Like, everything about it was just really good. We loved it. So definitely we'll be back to Malaysian Borneo. Peninsula Malaysia, we will not be back.
We started off in Georgetown in Penang. and yeah, first impressions were awful. Had a culture shock, I guess, at the start.
Yeah.
Coming from Thailand, everyone's they're a lot more, I guess, open and I don't know.
Just welcoming. They make
Yeah.
you feel like you're wanted. You don't walk into a shopping centre and they look right through you and pretend you don't exist. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Penang, very honestly and very bluntly, is disgusting. It's dirty. The people are unfriendly. There's pigeons absolutely everywhere, and the pigeons shit on everything. And the pigeon shit then gets wet because it rains. So there's just like wet pigeon shit absolutely everywhere, and it's just disgusting. Like, I don't know how else to explain Penang, but all the buildings are dilapidated. It's not charming. Like, people say, oh, it's old school charming. It's really not. It's just disgusting.
Yeah, and we were just in that old town because you just get a vibe from a place, and we just didn't like what we were experiencing, so we moved on. But we were just in that area there, and from what we saw, it was it wasn't old school charm, it was old school shit, to be frank with you. But yeah, so we went across to Butterworth, and the people were a lot nicer over there. The area was it was okay.
Not very walkable, but
As a whole in Malaysia, it seemed to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that wasn't too bad. Butterworth, we were just there for one night. People were amazing. Really, really interacted with some great people.
Yeah.
Supermarkets, restaurants, and that was nice. Gave us a bit of hope.
Yep. For the rest of the trip.
Yeah, and then down to Ipoh.
Yeah.
In Perak State.
And Ipoh was... We liked Ipoh. I would go back to Ipoh if I could avoid the rest of Peninsular Malaysia at the same time. But like, the thing that redeems Ipoh is the people are lovely, the food's good. Like, you guys obviously only see a little bit of like what we eat, but every day we're eating like breakfast, lunch and dinner, and the things that we did eat in Ipoh were just excellent. Like, just overall Ipoh, and Ipoh's in nature as well. So it's just very beautiful because you've got mountains surrounding you. It's like a 15-minute drive to go to like a cave temple or like whatever. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. You've got that beautiful nature side of Malaysia, which we really like. And then you've also got like the city with the foodie culture, all that sort of stuff as well. But in saying that, Ipoh is still really dirty and disgusting.
Yeah, the city as well is, I don't know, it was pretty much on par with Georgetown, that old town that we were in. It was, I don't know, it's a lot easier to kind of look past those things when the people are nice and the food is nice. So, but at the end of the day, it was very similar, run down, and it really needs do some renovations on that place. Which is a bit of a shame, because it's like everything else is so beautiful about it. The limestone caves around and just the mountains formed around, it's just beautiful. But in terms of the city, it was very similar, quite similar in architecture and quite similar in how run down it was.
Yeah, for sure. And when I say it was disgusting as well, I'm not exaggerating. Like, there was a homeless man, that's another thing. There is homeless people absolutely everywhere in Georgetown and in Ipoh. And it's just really sad. And there's just like nothing really seems to be happening about it. But when we were in Ipoh, there was a homeless man and he got his genitals out in front of us and literally just started peeing into a gutter. So that's kind of how disgusting it is. Like,
it was just, and it was like there was a main road there, and he just whipped it out. And instead of turning away from it like a normal human being would, he was just like, I'll just piss, and people are driving past, which is a bit confronting. It's just weird. And it's there's obviously an issue there with homelessness in Malaysia in general, because we did see it in Kuala Lumpur as well. So from Ipoh, then we went down to Kuala Lumpur, and it's a big city. It's a lot more of a Western city, more akin to Sydney, especially in the like CBD and the main areas, the built-up areas. A a lot more like Sydney as opposed to Bangkok, which, yeah, it was pretty blah, wasn't it?
Yeah, it just didn't really wow us. Like, it was just uninteresting. We just were like, what is there to do here? Like, there's
they got skyscrapers. There's like 6. So there's some very, very tall buildings. Cool. Like, it's cool to look at, but to go up the Petronas Towers, it was just about 100 ringgit each. So that's like 30 Australian dollars, a bit more, which is like, that's bullshit. I mean,
to go up a tower, like.
Yeah, just to get a viewpoint. It's like, yeah, cool. And yeah, not very walkable again. It does have quite good public transport in terms of trains, but for us, we do enjoy walking around a lot. That way, if you see something you want to look at, you can just stop and go in there immediately. You don't have to, you know, come back to it from your bus or your train or your monorail or whatever you're taking. But yeah, KL, like, it had some cool things in there, but it was very boring, and I'm not a big fan of big cities in the first place, and it definitely didn't change my mind.
Just boring, and there's no culture there, to be honest. Like, it's just, there's nothing to do.
Yeah,
it's just very meh. I don't know.
Yeah, and there was a lot of homeless people. A lot, like, there was the most homeless people we've seen, which kind of makes sense in a bigger city. You do usually see a higher homeless population, but there was some pretty rundown areas there, which is fair enough. It's like that in every city, but for those kind of things, there wasn't really a redeeming factor for us in Kuala Lumpur. So it was good to say that we've seen the capital, but we don't plan on going back there at all.
Yeah, especially after the airport debacle today, like.
Yeah, we'll
just
get to
big
that.
No. Yeah.
Oh, we've already had that. Yeah, that was a shit show. KL Terminal 2. If you can avoid it, because it's a shit airport. It's a shit terminal. It is disgustingly bad. Whoever designed that, you've done a shit job. I hate ya.
Pretty much.
Not to be too dramatic, but yeah, not a big fan. Didn't do it for us, but you know, there are other places. There's a whole east coast of Peninsular Malaysia. There is like places like Malacca, which I've heard are good, but I've also heard that Kuala Lumpur and Georgetown were good, and they were shit. So it is a very polarizing country that we've seen in terms of the feedback from a lot of different travelers. And we went in there thinking, oh, okay, usually when something's kind of polarizing, we find it good.
Yeah, we find we like things that are black and white like that, but
this is probably the first time that we've been to a place that's black and white, and we've gone, yeah, it's definitely,
we don't like it. So one last negative about Malaysia is the food. We have really struggled with the food here. Well, not here, because now we're in Cambodia, but we have really, really struggled with Malaysian food. We got sick, both of us. So I think we did talk about this earlier in the video, but for whatever reason, we've both had like gastrointestinal issues since being here. Not vomiting, we've had diarrhea pretty much the whole entire 3 weeks we've been in Malaysia.
Had the shits, yeah.
Yeah, legit. And it's just like, we've been eating fast food as well to try and like combat eating in dirty food restaurants, but it just gets too much. Like, it's just not good. We hate eating fast food as it is. It's just
the fast food is a treat. You don't want to be having it like 4 or 5 times a week. Like, I don't enjoy that. The food hygiene, if you want to get like food that's, you know, at the cheaper end, which you can get it in Thailand on the cheaper end, and we've never had an issue, but getting it on the cheaper end, like in a restaurant too, cooked for you, and we've both developed problems with our tum-tum. So it and the food, like, it's fucking bones in every, like, chicken's just like 90% of the dishes we had with chicken just had bones in them, and that's just not a good time for us. I mean, you just want to bite into a piece of food and not like break your teeth or not slit your throat with like bones and stuff, or have to pick it out. It's just, you know, just like, And then the
just
gristle and stuff, so you think
Yeah.
you're getting a bunch of chicken and then you end up getting like a tenth of what you thought.
Yeah.
And it's just a fuck around. It's just not good shit.
We just didn't really like Malaysian food.
For the most part, you know, we had like in Kuching, we had some absolutely divine. Like I had the best food I had in Kuching. Just did like another open air restaurant, but it was just so flavorful. It was like flat noodles, and it was absolutely beautiful. And I said to him, I was like, yeah, that's the best food I've had in Malaysia. And that was in Kuching. So yeah, Kuching's a good shout for sure.
Yeah.
Sarawak, as you said, it's kind of like its own country, and that's a good thing. There's a lot less diversity there, and the people that are there, like more local Malay. There's quite a few Chinese, but they're all just nice, you know. They're kind of like on island time, and they're just like that chill. They're not like, I don't know, just rushing around and just yeah, like there's
just
not a lot of sense of
dickheads.
community.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just every man for themselves in mainland peninsula, fucking Malaysia, as opposed to a lot more community feel and just a lot nicer people in Sarawak.
As well, like in Kuala Lumpur especially, it feels like if you're Indian Malaysian, you just stay with the Indian Malaysians. If you're Chinese, you stay with the Chinese. If you're like, it's almost like segregated. Like there's just you're in your groups. If you're like an outsider or a foreigner, they don't want to know ya. It's just like
I don't know. They just we got told like that's just how they are, and like that's cool. That's how you want to be, but that's not for us. So that's the whole point of this. It's like this is our perspective, and we don't like it. Like we don't like it, and you might like it, but if you're anything like us, you probably won't like it. But yeah, it's up for you to decide. And you know, we don't want to be shitting on a whole country. Like this is just the places that we experienced, but we experienced a few places for like a fair amount of time to actually like get a read. You kind of get a read in a few days, you know. Of course, it's not the same as living there, but at the end of the day, from what we experienced like that, not a good shout.
yeah, agreed.
But yeah, that's our thoughts on Malaysia. Mainland Malaysia anyway.
Yeah.
But sorry for being so negative, but
It's
we're just being
real. Yeah.
We're just being real, and in real life things are positive and negative, and we try to find the positive, and we did find some positives, but I think the negatives heavily outweighed the positives, and we just wanted to share that with you because I especially really find it annoying when YouTubers go to a place and they just sugarcoat things and they only show the good things. I don't know, just to get subscribers from that country. They don't want to offend anyone, and I think that's shit. You come in here, people are actually watching you to get an opinion and your opinion so they can go there, and what you've said is the truth, and that's our truth, and that's what we want to share, and that's how we want to do the channel. You know, it's going to be good and bad, so hopefully you can appreciate that. If you don't, then that's fine, catch ya. But I think we'll end the video there.
Yep.
We've had a bit of a shit day to start, but as soon as we got to Cambodia, Siem
So much
Reap,
happier.
it's so good. It's lovely to be here. So yeah, we do like places, and Cambodia, Siem Reap is one of the top of the list, probably the top of the list at the moment. So
Yep.
hopefully you've enjoyed. Like and subscribe, and we will see you in Siem Reap somewhere.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.